Nets Kingdom.
Fuck that house mob. I'm back. To the top, I'ma make it. Niggas just can't take it. To the top, I'ma make 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 it. Niggas just can't take it.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy AJ. I'm here with Cypher and Rage. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at NetsKingdom1, and all our Twitters are scrolling at the bottom. So, what are we, 9 days away from the draft lottery? Something like that, 9 to 10 days. It's getting close. It's getting close till Judgment Day. We're going to finally figure out our future of this franchise and going forward. So today we're going to talk about Rasheer Fleming, man. Rasheer Fleming, a lot of Nets fans, a lot of draft content people in general are talking about Rasheer possibly being a lottery raiser, or his draft stock, will rise during this time of combine. 6'9" forward from St. Joe's. They compared, I'm going to say what he has several NBA. This is what the scouting report says. He has several NBA comparisons due to his versatile skill set and physical attributes. He's a breakdown the most notable comparisons. They had compared him to OG Anunoby. Fleming's defensive prowess and three-point shooting have drawn comparisons to OG Anunoby and his defensive IQ and versatility. Jonathan Isaac, another defensive prowess forward. Taylor Hendricks, who got drafted by the Jazz, number 9 overall pick in 2023, and then Jeff Green, PJ Washington for Rasheer Fleming. So, yeah, when I was first put on the Rasheer Fleming, shout out to League him. I was watching like highlights, and I just noticed this very athletic forward. He has a really like kind of athletic build already, like kind of like an NBA body already. Now, the first 2 years at St. Joe's, he didn't really shoot crazy. His shooting percentages were pretty down. And then I think he found like something clicked. It kind of was like year by year growth, and something clicked his junior year where he started shooting unbelievable from three, 40% from three, I think. Just double check those stats, Saif. In that junior year. And
39% on
39
4.5 attempts.
On 4.5 attempts. So the volume was there. And then I noticed the mechanics, his shot mechanics look really, really good. And then also you just notice how athletic he is off the bounce. He has like really good foot speed on the perimeter. I was telling Syfe before this, I think he can guard 2 through 5. In the NBA, he's going to be probably like a power forward / small forward, but a strong 4, if he measures out at 6'9" with his weight and, puts on muscle. I think he's going to be a versatile power forward. And, like the wings that they were telling us, Jeff Green, PJ, OG Anunoby, Jonathan Isaac, those are kind of like the defensive molds that he is, because he's very, very versatile and athletic. Just fits into the modern NBA today. And I think that's why he might raise to the lottery pick, because at first he was mocked at low 20s, maybe mid 20s. He was kind of on that edge of 20. Now you kind of look and he's starting to get into that 17, 18 area. Some mocks have him there. Some mocks have him in the lottery, but still in the teens.
His draft range is anywhere between like 13 to like 22, depending on the team.
Yeah, depending on the team. So, yes, I have to talk about Rasheer Fleming. Like, where do you see him after the combine's coming up, falling into, in your opinion?
I mean, look, if he measures to be 6'9", 240, like it says he is, I mean his weapon is his versatility.
Yeah.
He is a bigger forward that could switch on defense, rebound. He averaged 8.5 rebounds in college.
Yeah.
He could shoot from 3. He could attack off the catch. He's got the strength. He's got the speed. He is a little bit older. I believe he'll be 20. He'll be 21 by the time he's drafted. Almost 21, meaning his rookie year will be his age 21 season. So he's not exactly young. Like, he's not like young in terms of draft standards, but he's not like super old like a Jalen Wilson is.
Yeah.
Still has some time to improve. He could definitely be like a PJ Washington type of player.
Yeah.
That strong, versatile forward that could shoot and attack the rim. There's value in having someone like him on the team.
Would you say I think his ceiling would be role player, like an OG Anunoby? Not an OG. Well, would you call OG Anunoby a role player?
Nah, OG, he is a very high end starter. That is what
High
I
end
would
starter.
classify as
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
So you think Rasheer Fleming would be if his ceiling is OG or like that type of forward? Um, that's probably like so a high end starter slash role player would be his ceiling.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that would be like his maximum ceiling. I don't think it's likely he'll be an OG Anunoby type of player.
Mhm.
But I don't know, he could be. Like that's definitely within the range of outcomes because he's in a very special place with his archetype where he could be an OG, he could be a Jeff Green, he could be one of those types of players, and even if he ends up on the lower spectrum, that's still a valuable role player.
Yeah. Um, Before we get to his weaknesses, I just want to talk about a little bit more of his strengths. It's in the scouting report. It says he anchors a small ball lineup. He's able to operate in versatile schemes. Averaged 1.5 blocks and 1.4 steals as a junior. We saw the small ball situation like that's going on right now in the playoffs. The Wolves playing the double big lineups, the versatility with the bigs. Now they say he's 6'9", 240, and we'll wait till the combine. But, like I was saying before with our picks in this NBA draft, we gotta just be mindful of the modern NBA and how like positions are getting taller. You're gonna need guys more versatile in this NBA and taller at every position.
A year,
So,
1 year ago, if we had done this a year ago,
mhm,
evaluating Rasheer Fleming, I would have said, oh, he could be like a small ball five. Not anymore. Like we're seeing it in the postseason, like you said, with the Rockets, the Wolves, even like the Knicks. It
yeah,
just the double bigs is a new thing,
yeah,
and playing the power forward position is like gone back to the way it was, where because forwards bigs are so skilled nowadays,
yeah,
they're allowed to play power forward again, and the benefits of like the space, like the offensive rebounding, the paint defense, the versatility. Like with Fleming would be a 4 or a 3.
yeah.
Uh, it just
Do you think
he
he'll be undersized at that 4 though? That's would he be or would he kind of be hedging in between 3 and 4?
depends on the team. Like
Mm,
if we're playing against the Cavs, yeah, he'll be undersized.
mm,
But if we're playing against like the Hornets or like an average NBA team, because double bigs double bigs is the new like success. It's the new
yeah,
meta,
yeah,
but not every team is running double bigs.
yeah. Go ahead, Rach. You gonna say something, Rach?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, I mean, with Rasheer Fleming's style, I feel like it'd almost be a disservice trying to put him at a 5. Like, obviously, he kind of does fit into that 4 and that 3 mold because it's like he's so versatile, and you're able to have like, at 6'9", that's definitely enough to keep up with like your average 4 or
Mhm.
even like two bigs. Like, it's still like at a very, very good size, and we've seen it around the NBA. Like, Bam is 6'9". You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like, obviously, like there's a lot of guys undersized who have to go and, even play the big position. And for him to be a 4 or 3 is definitely, good. And if you're able to get him in like, those late 20s, it's big time because he's definitely a high end type of like role player at his peak.
yeah,
But like, I don't see his like floor being anything worse than like a Jeff Green. Like,
yeah,
that's a real good comparison to me. I think that's very good. He has that athleticism, which we know Jeff Green for very well. And that 3 ball is honestly pretty solid. Like, I do like the OG type of like comparison in terms of the 3, and he's just very versatile on defense. I mean, 2 through 5, it's like you don't like he's a perfect 3 or 4 depending on the team, like Cypher's talking about.
yeah. Let
And
me. Yeah.
he doesn't have to be a full time starter.
Oh no, no, no.
No,
Yeah,
no,
Yeah,
like
he doesn't have
because
to be in.
we could have him be in a situation where he could be he could play the 4, and then if we need to go big, if Marks builds this roster correctly,
Mhm.
like we would have like another 5 on the bench, and then we could slide him at the power forward if we need more size and rebounding.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and he fits perfectly on like an off-ball to a team too because he can be that off-ball spacing forward if you need them to be like,
essentially what
um,
OG is on offense for
yeah,
the
like a
Knicks, like
spot up.
literally what OG is.
Yeah, a spot up guy. Like that's how his like I said, that's why I think his floor is very safe because yes, he's a little bit older. He's 20, but he still has that floor of, okay, at my worst, I can be a spot up four for you with size, athleticism, and I can guard. So I think that's what his safe floor is. Now let me read a little bit of his weaknesses here. It says by this is NBADraft.net. It says he struggles to create his own shot, limited handle, doesn't have a go-to move in the post or off the dribble, something that might develop in time. Off-ball awareness on offense can drift, tends to rely on guards creating for him. Assist to turnover ratio remains a concern, and then says he needs to improve defensive discipline and avoid unnecessary reach-ins or late contests. Lateral quickness is really good for a forward, but not elite. May struggle to contain perimeter-based fours in the NBA without improvement in defensive footwork. Will need to tighten his base, especially when closing out or defending pick and pops. So they said he's a late bloomer, but he's expected to develop quickly with good coaching and but interesting weaknesses. I think I knew about him attacking closeouts. That's not really his. He can, but it's something like one of his weaknesses that he needs to work on, because teams are gonna, like, you could be a great shooter, but teams take away that three. You gotta attack that closeout. And then the foot speed, I think he just has to get adjusted to it, because the power forwards in the NBA are going to be quick, like the Jason Tatums, those type of kind of wings he'd be guarding. But yeah, those are his weaknesses. So I guess my last question for you guys with Rasheer Fleming, what do you think? How far would you go? Let's say if Rasheer, let's say we're, I guess, the 19th pick, would you guys all say you would reach for somebody else, go a younger upside guy, or if Rasheer's there, you're taking him in your pool?
I think ultimately with Rasheer, it's
Mhm.
like if he's there at 19, it's pretty hard to pass up on that.
Mhm.
Even if you get a good forward like an Ace Bailey, or you get a Cooper Flag, it
Mhm.
could make sense. But I think it would make more sense if you were to be in a position to draft a Dylan Harper, or even later, you draft a Kasparis, or you draft a Trey Johnson, or you draft a Fears. You know, I
That makes
think
sense. Yeah.
ultimately, if he's there though, it's a very good take. And ultimately, he's 20, he makes more sense in a shorter term rebuild, I think. And I think that's what we're trying to do. I don't think we're trying to, obviously we know we're not trying to long this thing out. We want to win soon enough, but still develop our guys. I think Rasheer Fleming fits the mold almost perfectly with what we have going on, if it makes the most sense.
Yeah, because I think that's a great point you made with, if we get a point guard, because the NBA is all about spacing. So it's like you just want to put spacing around, your star lead guard, just for, and it's good for rookie guards to have that too. Just a lot of, he's going to have NBA space, because NBA space is way different than college space. The paint is packed and it's like a jungle trying to get to the rim. But here in the NBA, there's so many clear driving lanes because of all the spacing, and just adding, I think, Rasheer, his floor would be just, I'm gonna space the floor out. When Dylan, you're getting trapped, I can nail a three automatically, or play great defense. My defensive upside is there. So yeah. Saif, anything else on Rasheer? Or
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have strong.
Mhm.
I'm not vehemently against drafting him, because still a solid player, not necessarily the highest upside. I don't see him becoming a Jason Tatum caliber player. I don't think
Oh no,
anyone does.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if he's available at 19, yeah, take him. Like the only way I'd really criticize this pick is if the Nets had the third pick and they drafted Ace Bailey,
mhm,
and Igor Denham was available at 19. Then
yeah,
maybe and they take Rasheer Fleming. Then I would criticize the pick, because I would go for Denham in that case.
yeah,
But if it's the other way around, we draft Jeremiah Fears, or Dylan Harper or whoever, then I'm yeah, take the bigger versatile one.
yeah. Take the big versatile wing. Yeah, yeah. Really, that first pick, I think it determines a lot in this draft. Like, that first pick is really going to determine how the rest of this draft goes.
I mean, here's the thing though,
Mhm.
we don't know how Marks is thinking about all these picks.
Yeah,
For all we know, he could be thinking, I need to get a star, so I'm just gonna draft a bunch of young guys that are very raw, regardless of where they are in the draft. For all we know, he could take Hugo Gonzalez with this pick.
the 19th pick, somebody random, right?
Uh,
Yeah.
And with Hugo Gonzalez, like he didn't have like a good year, but the upside is there with him.
Yeah.
And like same thing with like Will Riley. Like that's an interesting like idea. Marks could just go pure upside and just draft like a bunch of 19-year-olds and just not care about like fit with these later picks. Like I have no idea how he's going to approach that.
Yeah. In my opinion, I think if you're going to build a young core in this draft, I think you should build the roster construction. You should take it serious and not like get the positions you need. At least a star lead guard, well, a big point guard or a lead guard and a serious big. I think at the wing, because the wings, I feel like wings are gonna be there, and we have a ton of wings already still. But I just think wings are gonna be your last concern. But like I said, depending on that first pick, if we get a star guard there, then okay, I'm okay with getting a big or a wing at that 19 or 26, whatever, in that area, you know. But yeah, appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe. We'll be pushing out more draft content. Let us know in the comments what other prospects you guys would like us to cover. There's also going to be a mock draft. We're going to do a mock draft, probably the top 14, 15 picks in the NBA draft. We'll all do a mock draft. This way we'll just break down where everybody is in our opinions. So again, appreciate you guys. Hit that like button, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe. Appreciate you guys.